when they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Good evening, and if you're just tuning in live, you're listening to 105.3 out of Mississippi FM, and what else? So what I'm trying to do three things at once here on 105.3 out of UFO Paranormal Radio Network, or sometimes it's called United Public Radio Network, or both together, or we just like to call it UPRN. It's much easier that way. And this is The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. I'm Lorilei Potvin, one of the hosts of The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, and my amazing friend next to me, David. I'll pass it over to him once I get all the housekeeping things out of the way. I have a little reminder list because I always forget something. Of course, I closed it as we were doing the intro there. Now I found it. Good. Can't multicast task and speak at the same time. Anyways, I am a Canadian psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, registered nurse. I am also well versed in near-death experiences, having had one as a toddler myself, and have studied them professionally and personally for over 40 years. I am a budding animal communicator and very well versed in the paranormal, which we're going to be talking about tonight. Definitely. I always said we never went looking for it. My family and I found us, and it's the reason why I do the things I do today. We've shared our story on the Paranormal Survivors season 4, episode 9, called Demonic Hauntings. I did not name it, they did. And what else I want to tell you, if you guys like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends and family. There really is something for everybody here on this network. It's been around for 25 plus years. We do stream multiple shows daily, 7 days a week, live. And when we're not streaming live, the archive server kicks in and randomly picks shows over the last 25 plus years. And so we really are live 24 hours a day. What else do I want to tell you? I guess I should tell you how to watch. Okay, so 80% of our listening audience, which is global, UPRN does broadcast to every country in the world, but they're listeners, and we love that. Please don't think that we don't, but we would actually love if you would come join our conversation. We've got a great crew here that we always say hello to before we jump into things, and we will. I can already see we've got Ed Odell, Jackie Lane, Mish over in Australia. It's the future over there. I always tease her. It's Friday morning. Got Leslie. I'm just saying it quick, Dave, because I know there's going to be a lot of people popping in. Michelle Wilfong's here, and there'll be a lot more people I know popping in. So how you can do that, because you can't comment when you're listening live, you can head over to UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network over on Facebook. We are back on our main channel again now. I see our wonderful, wonderful station manager, Michelle DeRoche, actually clicked it on for me because I was on our backup channel. So that's where we are right now. We're on UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio tonight. Also, we're streaming to my co-host David's channel, which is Spirit Experiences, or the Spirit Experience. He's also streaming to his Facebook profile, which is Medium David Hanzel. Also, I'm streaming to my profile on Facebook, which is Lorilei Potvin. We're streaming on Canada's Most Haunted, and we are streaming on my Instagram, which is the Angel Rock. I'm hoping it plays the full 2 hours, because for a while there, they were only playing it for an hour. But the problem with Instagram, so please don't think we're ignoring you, because if you've been to this show before, you know this show and my other show I do on Monday nights here on UPRN, which is the Angel Rock from 6 to 8 p.m. Both of them are very audience participative. If it wasn't for all of you, David and I would be having an awesome conversation, and we do, but you guys always add so much to the conversation, and we do this to hang with all of you and talk about what you want to talk about. So you can also watch us on TV. We do have our own TV channel for the network, and it's called Roku. So you can head over there, go to the channel store. You're going to type in UFO space P as in paranormal. You'll see a drop down list. We're about the third or fourth one down, and you're looking for UFO space paranormal and United Public Radio. And that's us. So you can watch us on there. And like I say, really, there is something for everybody on this network. I'm so distracted because I'm thinking of 10 things I'm doing at once, guys. Sorry. I promise I once I get the intro out of the way, my brain will settle down here. But I think we have almost 40 hosts that do live shows on the network. And we're always adding new ones. And it's not all just spooky, ooky, paranormal stuff. There really is something for everyone here. Actually, tomorrow, I found out a couple days ago, I just love him. He is coming on the Angel Rock. I believe it's September 30th. There's Father Sean Whittington show just before our own Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, which has Spirit Switchboard at 6 p.m. tomorrow night on UPRN. She's amazing. I just heard some weird noise. Did you, Dave?
I just heard that.
Ooh, that was, oh God, I got goosebumps, you guys, if you guys didn't hear that.
You guys, just to let you know, we just heard that noise. I don't know if you guys
did.
My,
I am covered in goosebumps.
What we were just talking, we were just talking before this because I said there's someone in my room. I felt like it all day.
He did say that. I am covered in goosebumps. Like it literally just went, it sounded like that. I was like, holy cow. So I was saying, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn has Spirit Switchboard. She has an amazing show, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. But now we also have Father Sean Whittington and his co-host with his new show at 5 p.m. just before. And if you don't know who Father Sean is, he is on the TV program. I'm not sure what network. I got to check that out next time. But it is Eli Roth's League of Exorcists, and he has an amazing show, amazing co-host, amazing guests, and I'm going to be helping produce tomorrow, so you won't see me, but I'll be behind the scenes. But I always like hanging out with him. He's got such a great personality. Holy cow, that freaked me out. I think that's everything. I am still covered in goosebumps. And Dave really did say before we were live, he goes, there's somebody in my room here with me. He was going, who are you? And we didn't get a name.
No.
And I was distracted because what we were talking about, we're going to really evolve into a lot more spooky stuff. I know we've talked about a bit of a spiritual stuff, and we love talking spiritual stuff. But you guys, we're heading into spooky season. It's almost September. And so we've got some spooky stuff to talk about tonight, including I've queued up a couple videos. But that, oh my gosh, Dave, take it away.
That was good. So hi, you guys. My name is David Hanzel. I'm a spiritual medium and channel, pet communicator, angel communicator, so on and so forth. I do a lot of
he does everything I do.
Yeah, right? I do everything Lorilei does. I also do spiritual counseling and all that fun stuff. But thank you so much. That's otherwise outside of that, I'm just some, your average weird guy. So no better than anybody else, but just has a lot of fun doing it. I want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for hearing that. And it is true. I had a wonderful reading this morning and with a wonderful spirit, and it was really quite one of those spirits that we talk to that is so much fun. And the information, she was just giving all these keywords and phrases that she said in her lifetime before she left. And which was really good evidence for the family that was listening. And she only left a week ago. I don't want to talk too much about it because that's not, we have privilege with our clients and everything. We don't speak about it outside of that, but it was a wonderful spirit. But also, like I said, before we got on, me and Lorilei this morning, Lorilei and I were talking about a bunch of stuff and we do that. And
we do that.
Yeah.
Let's go. We are friends, even though we're co-hosts, we are friends too.
We talked about a lot of weird stuff and we wanted to bring that back in. Lorilei suggested bringing it back in and I totally agreed with her because that is correct. And it's fun. We love
the spooky stuff. Dave and I could talk about spiritual stuff.
Yeah, we could talk your ears off about spiritual stuff. We could just probably do a non-stop 3-month show if we wanted to and still not run out of topics. But anyway, I did say there was something. This started last night. And then after I tell you this, we're going to say hi to all you guys. But it started last night. I told Lorilei that I was in my room here last night. When I leave this room here, I shut off all these lights, and I usually have a big light on. And I walk to the door and I walk out. Well, was doing that, and I realized I left on this little tube light here, so I had to walk back to my desk, and I turned it off, so it was pitch dark. And I turned around, and I had the funniest feeling. And tap tap tap. I could have swore somebody tapped me on my shoulder, and it literally had caught me off guard. And I don't get like scared, frightened, run. But it was enough to make me open that door fast and walk out. And I stood in front of the door and thought, well, I sat there for a minute and thought, do I feel anything terrible? And it's like, well, no, I couldn't feel anything terrible. So I just opened the door real fast and I was like, who's here?
Yeah, but it's unnerving. Like that's what Dave and I were talking about. We thought we were going to open with. So I think it's Marissa. We're going to say hi in just a sec. I'm going to add something and we're going to continue this topic. But Marissa, you missed the beginning just at the show. Holy crap. We had the creepiest CVP just come through. And that's why people are saying if you're on the same platform, I heard it. But we were talking about that because I've been noticing over the last week. No, I still get paranormal activity, nothing like my previous home, thank God. Yeah. But it's been going on over the last couple of weeks where something feels like it either touches me right here or just around where on the side of my hip, sometimes on my leg, or right below where, say, your belt would go. And that always freaks me out because in my previous home, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be gross or anything, but we used to call him the butt monster, the one that would do it. Because my partner, Dell, I have a picture I don't release to the public, obviously, because he has a bite mark and it is not human with like looks like pointy teeth biting right below where the belt would go. If anything was going to happen, that's where it would touch it. So that always freaks me out again. But it's not threatening, you're right. And I always go, is the dog here? Is the cat here? And I'm moving around looking and there's no one there. And it's always just a gentle touch, but it's enough to know that someone is there.
Yeah.
Right?
No, and just earlier today, before we came on, I just got done telling Lorilei, I said, Lorilei, there's someone in my room and it's not the person I was talking to this morning. This feels like somebody else. And I ask, who is it? I'm not getting a response. If anybody sees anything behind me or a shadow, just say something. Not a big deal. It's not scaring me. Trust me, there's nothing in my room that wants to get
that was freaky what we heard as I was doing
everything is in succession. I've been experiencing so many synchronicities. I had the spider thing with the spiders, the same spider showing up in my house, one after the other in a different space. And I've never seen them since. It was out of the blue. And then seeing tuxedo cats constantly and just constant stuff it's like, it feels like it's ramping up, maybe it's ramping up for spooky season. Who knows? Because collectively we kind of call all that stuff in.
Well, we do. Let's say hi to everybody as we'll keep talking. So do you want to do them? Or do you want me to do them? It's up to you.
Oh, no, go right ahead. Ahead.
So Michelle Wilfong, like I said hi, everyone. She's the first one here. Leslie 1266 says hello. Mish, like I said, is over in Australia, so she's in the future. Good day, all. I'm getting ready here for work, and because I still like money. We like money too, Michelle. We all do. Money is not evil. It's an energy source, but we're not talking about money tonight. We're talking about ghosty, spooky things, and I think we started out perfect. Ed or Howie Odell said, did I miss the anniversary show? I think our anniversary show is the first Monday after New Year's Eve. Like New Year's Day, I should say, right? I think it's January 4th is our anniversary.
Something like that, yeah, for 2 years.
We're going on 2 years. So Howie or Ed says, hey guys, shared you. We really appreciate it. I want to give Howie a shout out or Ed Odell, because he always supports our network, many of our shows and hosts on the network on UPRN. He has his own network called the Rift Nation Network. It's awesome. He also has his own show, which David and I have been on a few times with his amazing co-host, Rhonda Harris, who's here.
So weird.
Hello, friends.
Did you see that? Do you know what happened? I just stopped. Everything just stopped on my entire screen. Did anybody else lose us?
I think we're in for a night of spookies, guys.
I know.
So I want to give him a shout out. And actually, Rhonda was on the Angel Rock the other night. And it's like I always knew her, friendly, really liked her, but I wanted to have her on. Oh my God, she feels like my long lost sister. I don't have a sister. Between her and Carrie Lynn, it's like the minute you talk to somebody, you just know you're going to be friends. She's one of those people. So we got Jackie Lange says, hi, everybody. Rhonda Harris, like I said, says, hello, friends. we've got the spirit experience, which is David. Says, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Contessa Martins, or Connie, she says, hello, Lorilei and David. And Rhonda Harris, this is right about, it was at 7:21 p.m. Okay, so we're at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when the noise came through. It was so creepy. It went like it's whispering. I can't even do it. I'm so freaked out. I'm not scared. It's just you don't expect to hear that noise. So she said, I heard it. Michelle Wilfong said, I heard it. Nicole Thomas Ryan, hello. She says, I heard it. Mish says, eek, stay safe, Dave. Stay safe, Dave. Marissa Burrill says, hi, everyone. And then Michelle saying hi to everyone. And Leslie said, would it be the height of a child reaching you? Are you asking me, Leslie? Because yes, at times it would seem like the height of a child. What about yourself? I guess not, Dave, if it's on your shoulder?
For me, no, it's not a child at all. I know that. Yeah.
Okay, so Mish said, can you replay it yet? You might be able to if you go to YouTube or Facebook and go back right to the beginning when I'm rambling sort of towards the end. Maybe that's why I was so distracted, because normally I can multitask super well. I don't know if it's with being a nurse and a mom and everything else. But I was distracted, and you guys could tell I was distracted. And Mish said the sound. Yeah, you probably could. If you go back to Facebook or YouTube, one of our channels, you go back in the stream, you can probably hear it because it's recorded. Right. So Nicole says, hi again. And Ed or Howie says, okay, cool. Thank you. Mish says, hang on, David. Have you eaten? LOL. Wasn't it your stomach? LOL.
My stomach, well, it might have been, but my stomach usually doesn't go.
That's what it was. That's kind of how it was. Thank you, David. That's exactly, but it was even longer and whispery. Yeah. Oh, I still get goosebumps. And that's my sign for when spirit is around. So Rhonda says, you all asked for spooky, LOL. And Leslie said, yes, for Lorilei. And Michelle said, haha. Yeah, it does feel sometimes like the height of a child. It does. It really, really does. So I don't feel or pick up anything bad. Plus, I kind of have a double check-in. My dog, who almost died, or talked about this, she's still not 100%, but she's no more, knock on wood, seizure activity or anything. When there's something in my house, I know right away. I don't even have to feel into it. I know by my dog's activity or by what she does. And when she takes me to an area, I have pictures actually that I have taken. I might be able to find them on my phone and show them later if we have time. And she kept going behind my chair in our living room. And it's like she's tracking something. And she's not that kind of dog. She's not a sniffy kind of dog, but her nose is to the ground and she's following it. And it's kind of like an open concept circle, dining room, kitchen, front door, hallway into the right. It's like a rectangular living room. And she kept going and she'd go right to that corner, tuck her nose in, and she'd be sniff, sniff, sniff. And then she kind of hackles up on her back and she'd turn and look at me. And then she'd take me there and take me there and take me there and take me there. So finally I thought, okay, I get the message. You want me to take pictures. Now this was last summer, not this summer, but I do know, because we get drop-ins. All of us do, especially you, Dave, too. And like those of us that are doing this work in particular, Spirit kind of knows that we can either feel them, see them, or hear them. Everybody can, but they know we can communicate with them, right?
I've always said that after the spirit world, let's say, not that I don't want to call them they, because literally that's us at some point, but the spirit world seems to be very, what's the word I'm looking for when you take advantage of something? Well, they take advantage knowing they're very opportunistic.
I was going to say manipulative, but I knew that's not what you were trying to say.
Spirit seems to be opportunistic. So they'll come in when they can or when they know you can see them. This happens when I do walks in the woods. Like I'll do a lot of lives on TikTok and walks in the woods. And today it was off the charts, the stuff we were hearing in the stuff I was hearing in the woods. I was like, holy cow. I was like, and I know they're the woods and it's most likely an animal, but even at one point I was just walking and it caught me off guard. There was a little bird, and normally you know how birds fly away when you walk by. This bird didn't fly away until I was standing there talking, and then it decided to get up and fly away and scare the heck out of me. And I was like, Jesus Christ, bird. But they are, and it seems that they do come through. And I think because of this season and because we're all looking for it, it seems to be ramped up. Lorilei, I got to tell you about animals, though.
Okay, before you go, I'll just say a quick hi to Julie Jean Bassett. She said, hi, Lorilei, David, and everyone. Let's give her a quick shout out. She's an amazing animal communicator, fantastic shamanic practitioner. I have worked with Julie as a client, and she's helped me a lot with my animals. I've taken my animal communication course with her, and as well personal healing. So please check her out at juliejeanbassett.com or on Facebook under the same name. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, okay. So just so we can talk about it. We'll talk about all kinds of things. If you guys got anything that happened to you, let us know in the comments section.
Oh, we were going to ask, have any of you felt that before you tell the story about the animals?
Yeah.
Julie, you missed out on the EVP at the beginning of the show. Man, was it creepy. But if any of you have felt that, have any of you felt touches by somebody that's not there, and it's kind of got you thinking what the heck's going on? But go ahead, Dave, sorry.
Yeah, but we were talking earlier about how animals know everything and see everything. The only thing, this one thing, it doesn't creep me out like in a bad way, but it always makes me like goosebumpy. And that is sometimes when I wake up, if I wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes it's every once in a while. I can probably count how many times without running out of fingers. I have 4 cats. They will all be sitting on my bed, sitting there looking at the same thing. It's sitting. And whenever they do that, I'm like, stop it, you guys. You either gotta fill me in or just stop. But it does. It makes me uneasy every once in a while. I woke up to it. And they're literally sitting real nice, like, a cat sitting and just looking at stuff. And they're not frightened or scared. And they all see the same bug. I don't know. It's at nighttime, but it always freaks me out every time it happens.
Yeah. So Howie or Ed says, I love when you get an EVP on a show or you have spirit communication on the show and it's documented. That's one of my most favorite things. Well, it is, because I was talking and David was sitting very patiently while I ramble. And then this noise, I stopped and I said, did you hear that? And Dave said, yes. But for those of you that are just joining in, and then we're going to read your comments because you have answered a few things here and we appreciate your input always. Before we went live, David said there was somebody there. He could feel it. He didn't know who it was. He even said, "Who are you?" And he used.
Yeah, and in my room, we're talking about like in my room or space. It just felt like someone was here.
Mm-hmm. So Julie says,
"They're still here. They're still here. It doesn't seem as strong as it was, but they were closer before."
Well, repeat the noise, because I said it once after I heard it, and then I screwed it up. But you did it perfectly. So, what was the noise we heard? What did it sound like again?
Oh yeah, I'm carrying. Oh, Bashar.
But it was a whisper. It was like, yeah, like it was like that, and it was loud, like a loud.
Maybe it was Daryl Ankon. He's like, I'm Bashar. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't. But that's kind of what it sounded like. Bashar's name. It's like Bashar.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Nicole always does this. I've had Michelle do it and a few other people. So thank you. Nicole Thomas Ryan said, I just clipped it and recorded the EVP. We'll post on the thing at the foot of the bed. Now, perfect. Nicole, if you want, send it to me and I can play it for anybody who's missed it if you want. Thank you. You guys, when you do that for us, there's been a few other people. Please forgive me if I have missed your name, but we always appreciate when you do that because we're trying to do the show and we want you to stay with us live, not have to go back to the replay to try and hear it while we're live. Right, Dave? So we'll play it for you. Mish said, yeah, well done. I tried. So Jackie Lane said, maybe it's the thing at the foot of the bed, maybe.
Or the back of my chair. The thing at the back of my chair.
So Julie said animals can see spirits. Absolutely. I've said this 100 times on this show in the Angel Rock, but when I'm helping people with paranormal activities, I have a bit of a questionnaire. And one of the first things I usually ask is, do you have small children or animals in your home? Any kind of pets? And what are they doing? What are you seeing with their behavior? What's going on? And most people, we know our animals very, very well. So when they're doing something odd, like Dave said, all 4 of them sitting on the bed, staring at apparently nothing. And like you said, it could very well be the same bug, looking at the same bug, but it could be something else. So Marissa Burrell said, I had a gentle tug on my hair. I instantly knew it was my dad saying, hi. Oh, I love that. So you didn't jump to, oh my God, it's a demon, like what we hear on TV.
Oh, good for you. I'm glad you didn't. Yeah, because we should think about that. Yeah. Unless you were like in a weird place where demons were known, then I guess, I would understand if you said, hey, was that a demon?
Okay, so Michelle Wilfong said, I've been awakened by a cold lump sleeping next to me like a dog, ghost dog. Well, that's not always.
Yeah, and that very well could be. Me and Lorilei always say, what do you honestly feel in your heart when it happened? What did you feel at that moment?
And
Most
Marissa,
likely,
yeah, Marissa, you answered it beautifully. And Julie says, love that, Marissa. She said, no, I knew instantly it was him, meaning she knew it was her dad. Before I ask Michelle's question, I just want to check, I think on Instagram, we've got Woodward Hypnosis that joined in. He's been a guest on the Interrock a few times, Dr. Frederick Woodward, and he's amazing, you guys. So we appreciate he's over on Instagram. So thank you for
I love hypnosis. I do self-hypnosis all the time, and I love being under in hypnosis. Okay. I don't know if anybody else finds that. I love it. I go under so easy, and I love it.
It doesn't I've done past life regressions with a good friend of mine that's been also on the Angel Rock, Debbie A. Anderson. Her husband Chris Lee does future and past life regressions, and I've actually got some really interesting stuff that has come in when he's done it, and he has a video that he gets people to watch before they have their session, which I'm glad, because people a lot of times equate hypnosis to what you see when you go to those trick shows. They're funny. Yeah. People are hypnotized and they do weird, crazy things. So I'm glad that he does it.
I've been in a couple of those. Yeah.
Oh, where was I going with? This is it. Mish, this is a good question. Can animals see other dimensions? My answer is, I believe they can, especially cats. And how does the saying go, Julie? I think you've said it before, or maybe it was even you, Dave, but I think dogs are kind of like our guides, if you will, with the world, like in
they've got dogs, the physical guide, and cats, the metaphysical spirit. Well, yeah, that's just the saying. I mean,
it's a saying, yes. Yeah, but there's a reason why the Egyptians revered cats.
Yeah. Now cats. My answer is absolutely. And if you want to know how that works, it's kind of like, did you ever go to an amusement park or something and they have all the glowing stuff painted all over and you got to put the glasses on to see it in 3D? That's kind of cat's eyes. They can automatically see that. They don't need the glasses. They see, and dogs do too. They see. If we could have special glasses for ourselves, we'd be seeing way more than what we see in front of our eyes, because there's just certain colors and certain things that human beings can't perceive that even bugs, cats, and other animals can. So yeah, I'm a strong believer in that.
Yeah, I think they can too. No,
Julie Jean says the same thing. Dogs are protectors in the physical and cats are protectors in the spiritual.
I thought it was Julie that said it before.
No, I see, we both say it all the time. Yeah.
And Mish says, okay, thanks. Makes sense. I really, truly believe that. Never mind. I also believe that animals, when we have them domesticated, any kind of animal that becomes part of our life and part of our family, that they're kind of like guides in a way, earth guides, I feel. Also, they are true. They are the true epitome of unconditional love. They really, really are.
Mm-hmm. There's what the show's called, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. In the original book, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, there's a chapter, because it's for like kids and all. It's a good book. You guys should read it if you can find it. There's a chapter on how to see ghosts. And what they suggest is you sitting behind a dog and looking through his ears. And because dogs can see ghosts. I don't know if that's true or not. I have looked through dogs' ears before and haven't seen any ghosts. But then again, I'm one of those lucky people who don't need the dog to see it sometimes. But
for people that maybe haven't tapped into their abilities yet, I'm downloading this. It's not. I don't think it's showing. Hang on. I'll just play it from Facebook. I'm going to play this. If it'll stop. Oh, she did a good job. She got 17 seconds. Okay, why does it not want to cooperate? We'll just play it to the end, because you said you can't hear that anyways, eh, Dave?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. Hang on. I'm going to, as soon as it, okay, good. All right, good. We got it. It's there. That's awesome. So do you want me to play it now for people who haven't seen or heard it?
Yeah, let's play it and see if we can hear it again.
Okay. I think it pops up right away, if I'm not mistaken now. It never used to the way I do it now. I don't do it the usual way because for some reason it doesn't want to show up even though I'm using Chrome, and I've watched I have watched videos on this and the whole bit. Let's add, oh no, it's going to let me add it to the stage. A couple weeks ago, it was adding it right away. Hang on. Okay. So this is what happened. Thank you to Nicole Thomas Ryan, who already clipped it. She said she's going to post it in. We forgot to tell him, Dave, about our group, the thing at the foot of the bed, too.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that after this. Yeah.
Okay. So she's going to post it in our group for the show for people, especially that are listening. So you guys can see what we're talking about, the videos and what have you. Oh, that's not the one I want. Hang on. I want. Okay, there it is. I want to go to this page. Sorry, guys, I'm a little confused. Still a bit discombobulated. She's amazing. I just heard some weird noise. Did you, Dave?
I just heard that.
Ooh, that. Okay, I don't know if it caught it all. Do you think it did, Dave? Hang on, we'll have to go right back to the beginning. Yeah, I didn't hear it either. Hang on. I'm trying to. It might have to just play it to the end. Hang on, we'll replay it. Okay, if it won't let me capture it. Hang on. UPRN, she's amazing. I just heard some weird noise. Did you, Dave?
Yeah, you heard that.
Can't. Ooh, that. So I think it just caught the tail end of it, Nicole. But I appreciate you doing that. So what we'll do. So now you guys can see all my messages. Sorry about that. So we might have to. We're going to post it in the group anyways. And Nicole has.
Yeah, by the way, you guys, we will post it in the group. And for those of you who want to know about the group or hear it, you can go to the thing at the foot of the bed with Lorilei Potvin and David Hanzel. It's on Facebook. It is a private group, so nobody knows you're in there. If that's something you don't want people to know, you can go in there and you can hear any of the clips or watch any of the clips that we put on the show, because Lorilei is kind enough to put them into the group. Also, you can share your spooky stories, your spiritual stories, anything you want. If you have questions, you can ask. Once we get up to 200 people in the group, yeah, we're getting there. Once we get up to 200 people in the group, Lorilei and I, once or twice a month, maybe more, who knows, we'll go into the group and do some free reads for you guys and talk about other stuff and answer questions as a thank you. And that's about it.
She sent me another clip. So let's try this.
So we're going to try another clip, you guys.
Thanks, Nicole. Because I saw that after I closed I heard Spirit say, "Don't close your Facebook," and I thought I just ignored it. Right? That just teaches you when you don't listen, right? Let me cue it up for you guys. It's just loading here. We'll see if anybody else on Instagram, because I always forget to check there right in the middle of a sentence when I do. So Julia Evans is here. She's over in the UK. So thank you for staying up late. I know it is almost 1 a.m. over there. We're going to be playing, for those just dropping in. Actually, I might as well do it a bit early. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Thing at the Foot of the Bed with your hosts here, my co-host David Hanzel, myself, Lorilei Potvin, on UFO Paranormal Radio Network and United Public Radio Network, or we call it UPRN. And this is The Thing at the Foot of the Bed on 105.3 out of Mississippi and 107.7 out of New Orleans, both on FM. I'm telling you, my brain is really distracted. So I don't know if it's by what's in your room, if there's something here, because I'm not normally distracted. But let's see because I think it cut off just at the beginning is what the problem was. Let's see. Let me get it loaded up here, because I don't know why it didn't want to play properly. I don't
because
really
the ghosts are taking over your phone.
Yeah, I can hear it. I'm going to have to try and get it to go. Okay. If it's going to, right to beginning, it's not letting me do that for some reason, but we will see here. We'll add it to the stage. We'll just play it, and we'll play it again because it's not letting me go back to the beginning. I don't know why. Hang on. Let me see if it'll let me go back. Okay, there. Amazing. I just heard some weird noise. Did you, Dave?
I just heard that.
Ooh, it's still, I think we're probably going to have to send people to the beginning of the video. And Mish is right. It doesn't want us to hear it again. That could very well be it. On UPRN, she's amazing. I just heard some weird noise. Did you, Dave?
I just heard that.
Because it was really loud. It was really loud when it happened, wasn't it, Dave?
It was loud, and that's probably, if you guys are people who watch the show all the time, that's like one of the first times where we both said, I heard that. I heard
Yeah.
that too, right off the bat. I mean, we heard that one. We heard the other ones later.
Like
the other
it was loud, like when I heard it, like it wasn't quiet. And maybe you're right, Mish. Maybe it doesn't. I've had that happen. You guys, I've shown videos with weird stuff that's happened at my house. I remember with a security camera that you can't move with your hands in my backyard. And all of a sudden it went like this. It moved on its own. And do you think I could find that video? I ended up, while Dave and I were doing the show, this was quite a few months ago, I had to re-download it. It wasn't on my, and I didn't touch it. It wasn't in my delete files. I have had pictures, especially in my previous home, not so much here, that have shown up on my phone. I can tell you one of them. I didn't know what it was. It almost looks like a flash of an angel. And I'd never looked at it on a really big screen. And one time I forget, I don't know if I was doing at a conference or there was something, and I happened to notice up in the left-hand corner, you can literally see eyes and a bit of a face behind this big flash. And I never took that picture. Nicole, I believe you 100% because you were amazing with, she's photoshopped and made I've got it actually in our group. And their big joke was the thong at the foot of the bed. We're not getting off on that tangent, I promise. Yeah. Kevin Bacon in, is it Friday the 13th? And the speedo he's wearing. So she's very good at video clipping, and other people have done it for us as well. Because she said, so weird. I clipped it 3 times and it is like it moves the position of the clip. I believe you. Absolutely, Nicole. Absolutely. So there is weird, spooky stuff afoot. I don't know. Do you want me to play this video? Because the one that I downloaded, Dave? Or
yeah, let's play that one. Let's play that. You guys, we're gonna play some kind of, I guess it's spooky stuff, and we'll all comment on it. And plus, if you guys have any spooky stuff to talk about, just feel free to leave a comment and let us know. Even if you have a question about some stuff spooky. Spooky is not off limits, you guys.
No, and the thing is,
we like the spooky.
They can send it to you, Dave, or they can send it to me, because I can share it from, if you forward, like, send it to us. If you guys got something spooky or creepy, or put it, because I don't think it'll let you guys post links, but if you've got a link to something, and we'll take a look at it. And this is from Nuke's Top 5, this one I'm going to show. And when I first watched this, I shared it with Dave, but he had a busy day too, and he didn't get to watch all of it. But this one is kind of weird. And it was so weird that I actually almost felt like it was fake, except apparently this was streamed live. And after, I'm going to have to stop it in between every now and then, just because to maintain YouTube's guidelines for fair use. But one of the things that happens on there, I have actually seen, and I'll explain after, I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but I haven't seen it do exactly what happened in this video, but I'll share exactly what I have seen afterwards. So now we're back to add it to the stage. When I was producing Father Sean 2 weeks ago, the first week, remember we had the audio issue with my computer, and it was doing all kinds of weird stuff with my keyboard. And I went to add his pictures, and it added it instantly. Before, normally it sits here and it's got this little label that comes up that says add to the stage. It wasn't doing that. Now it's back to, we can add it to the stage. Okay, so this is Nuke's Top 5. I think it's about the 5th video in. For people that don't know, he's got a very large channel on YouTube. People send in spooky videos. Bizarre Bub, Shannon, Casey sometimes pops in if she's not working. She's a nurse, and she introduced me to Bizarre Bub. And at first I wasn't that crazy about Bizarre Bub, but I'm kind of liking him more because he tends to pick up scarier and different videos. That
plus he's so bizarre.
Oh boy, David and I were laughing about this already before we got started. Julie, she goes, it's still Mercury retrograde, right, Dave? This morning people are going to say it's Mercury retrograde. We're not making fun.
We blame everything on Mercury retrograde.
Yeah. Okay. So this is here. I'll make it bigger for you guys so you can see it. Obviously,
I had to clean my glasses off. I could not see.
Okay, so he says 10 scary videos for full screen terror. So this is a YouTuber by the name of I'm Wishy. So hang on, we'll start playing.
A viewer and YouTuber who goes by the name Wishy reached out to us about a live stream from the allegedly haunted Melville Cemetery in Melville, New York. Wishy says that his friend Brian went out to broadcast a Ouija board session live from the Melville Cemetery while his friends watched and talked to him on Discord. Now, the Melville Cemetery is located on Sweet Hollow Road, a road that has many tragic and ghostly legends attached to it. One such legend is that a school bus driver lost control and drove off the bridge crossing Sweet Hollow Road. All of the school children on the bus met a tragic fate. Another legend says that 3 boys took their own lives by hanging themselves from that very same Sweet Hollow Bridge. So it goes without saying that Sweet Hollow Road and the cemetery are said to be extremely haunted. Brian is on a Discord call with his friends, who you'll hear in the background, and he is streaming live as he decides.
For those of you who might not know who Discord is, a lot of people, when they start getting a bigger channel, and you don't have to have one, I've seen people with just a few people on whatever on social media, it's a live kind of chat forum, kind of like our Facebook group, but you can do a lot more there, and you're not, I mean, you don't, obviously you wouldn't want to be putting something illegal or something, you'd be kicked off, but you're not really censored on there. So it's kind of nice. And it's an enclosed type forum. You get sent an invite. It's not exclusive. Most YouTubers post their link to their Discord and you can join it. It's kind of nice. You can meet with people that enjoy the same topic as you do and what have you. So it sounds like he went live on his Discord channel and he's streaming this, and you're going to hear the other guys in the background, just for context for people who might not have heard of that before. Okay, hang on.
To do a Ouija board session just outside the gate of the Melville Cemetery. Things start to go wrong.
Now this is
and what
live,
happens next
remember.
Is truly terrifying.
Yo, that's moving. Yo, oh my god, look up.
Why is it going to no?
It said no.
It said no.
You're like, yo, the camera's moving. Yo, bro, the camera's moving.
Bro, I'm leaving, bro. Yo, I'm leaving. Was it you that moved the camera?
Most car alarm shit's going
Bro,
on.
the fucking car is going on.
Now, the one thing I want to say, I haven't watched the whole video because Dave and I know Dave's going to second this. How do we know there's not someone moving the camera, setting off his alarm? Plus, why are you using the Ouija board by yourself? That also gave me a lot of pause to think, like, are you moving it on your own? What's going on here? And I watched this whole video. It's a bit longer, but I thought, all these things before, but this guy also was live. So I guess if I went to his full video and watched, he might show. Yeah, he does show.
Might be able to. That's my concern. In that, no, I get a car horn going off because that could totally happen. I get a camera moving, that could totally happen. I thought the same exact thing you did about the Ouija board and one hand touching. Mm-hmm. So that's the one where you can't validate that in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. But watch it to the end, because I kept thinking, is this thing fake? And all of a sudden it hit me. This guy did stream this while he was recording it live. So hang on. And this is just clips.
But there is another person off film. That's the other thing that they can't
could be. There very well could be. But just, and it could be fake, but I will, like I say, let's hear people's thoughts. Try to watch it with an open mind. And like I said, there is a full video you can watch on YouTube. Yeah. It's Wishy, I believe, the channel. So
he's Wishy.
No.
Yo, bro.
Understandably, Brian is a little freaked out, but he manages to stay calm, reposition his camera, and continue his live stream.
There is here that would like to talk to me. Bro, I didn't even ask it.
This is a longer video.
Was that you that just turned on the alarm?
Okay?
Yes.
Now he actually goes over to the car.
Bro.
actually goes over to his car. And again, you have to keep in mind, I've not watched the full video, Dave, so we might have to watch the whole video to see what the whole context is. But somebody could have set his car alarm off and stepped off, but out of frame. But he does go to his car. It's a longer clip, so.
Bro. I left the keys over. I'm panicking, bro. Where the are the keys?
Brian is a little freaked out, but his friends keep telling him that he needs to go and say goodbye using the Ouija board. You see, in the paranormal community, not signing off by saying goodbye at the end of a session is considered to be a horrible mistake and is said to invite the contacted spirit to remain attached to the Ouija board user. So, Brian goes back. And this is when shit goes sideways.
I took the lights and everything.
This was live, okay?
Bro. Oh my f***ing God, bro. Bro, the board went in.
Get the phone, get your phone. Yeah, bro. Oh my God, I saw that. We caught that on camera.
I'm leaving, bro.
Yo, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm leaving.
Get the fuck out.
The Ouija board suddenly slides across the pavement to the other side of the locked gate, right into Melville Cemetery. Brian starts to leave, but after everything that has happened, he again begins to worry that he didn't say goodbye.
Now, again, he didn't give us enough of a clip. Could there have been somebody back there with a string attached to it and pulling it through, right? Could have been.
Yeah, you could.
And this is live, and we're just getting key clips. I'm actually tempted to watch the whole thing to see, because he does eventually, you'll see, he goes back, and like Marissa Burrell said, I am petrified of Ouija boards. We can even have a discussion about that. Now, remember, there's a lot of negative energy and thought and belief around Ouija boards, but they really are a communication tool.
Like what he said, the one thing that I don't have a belief in, I'm not going to knock anybody's belief in it. But when he said, if you don't say goodbye on the Ouija board, you invite the spirit to stay.
I don't agree with that, but I think you leave the session open. I think you.
Exactly. You might leave the session open, but nothing.
Leave it. Make it. You could definitely, I think, create a portal. I've done shows in the past on this network. We lost our main YouTube channel. That's why we all of us older hosts, not by age, but have been here longer, back all our shows up on at least one of our social media platforms. The audio is still there on our server, but all the video of previous shows. But I can tell you, my previous co-host and I, by the way, this was on my, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's like a little jewel. It was right in the middle of my screen. I have no idea where it came from. I was there all of a sudden. We did a show called A Little Knowledge is Dangerous. So, it's just like any tool. You should have somebody show you how to use it, how to keep yourself protected.
You know what? In fairness, when I'm done with the reading, I always, even after the spirit I'm talking to says their goodbyes, that they actually never really say goodbye to the people in front of me. They just always tell me I'm leaving you. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's their sign saying they're getting rid of me. When I do deep meditations or channel writings, I end every session with thank you. And that's it. That's how they know. That's my sign for that. So I guess there's something to close off something. But
I think you should. Okay, the analogy I've used on the angel arc, I probably said on here quickly. Say you have a guy named John. John hears that a chain. We're going to get back to the video, but John hears that a chainsaw is a wonderful tool to go cut down this huge chain link fence in the backyard he wants to get rid of. So he heads over to said whatever hardware store, picks up a chainsaw, and he's seeing maybe some YouTube videos or whatever. He figures out how to get it started. So he heads over to the chain link fence with the chainsaw, starts to try to cut it down, and is shocked beyond belief when the chainsaw kicks back and cuts his arm off. Is the chainsaw evil? No. It's just a tool, like Julie Jean
Yeah.
Bassett said. It's just a tool. He
Yeah,
didn't
that's
have
all
anybody
boards are.
show him how to. First of all, you don't use a chainsaw to cut down a chain link fence. Second of all, he didn't read the instructions. He didn't have anybody show him how to use it. He didn't learn about safety and what have you. That's the analogy I use. Now, Mish says, how many YouTube channels do you stream from? We have David's as Spirit Experience. We have mine, The Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. It is also, all our shows are streamed from our main YouTube channel, which is UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network, and also our main Facebook page. We have a backup channel called UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials. So we had let's just say a little hiatus from YouTube on our main channel. So it's our backup. So for the last week or 2 weeks, we were streaming to our secondary channel. So what's that? Three YouTube channels?
Yeah.
Great.
Leslie asks, the fear around the board is low frequency. Can that attract low energy entities? Well, it is, but it's got to be on your belief system. Like I believe that, I don't believe it's well, for me, I'm just mincing words. So pardon me. It's not as much like a sound frequency, it's a vibration. And the vibration of fear is super low. It is, because fear and not fear is the same emotion. It's just they're on different frequencies. The higher the emotion, it's going to feel better because we normally come from a place where the frequency is higher or the vibration is higher. So I agree. If something's on a low vibration and there's a lot of people playing it that see it as low vibration, I think that's exactly what they're going to get out of it is low vibration.
I think what it is my belief is, and Spirit gave me this years ago, what we perceive becomes what we believe, and it becomes our reality. And like does attract like energy. That's why we're not going into spirituality tonight so much, but you've got to raise your vibration. What it means is your vibrational energy. David, you're not going in there to use say it's a Ouija board or a pendulum or anything to communicate in a low mood, and you're
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Dark and deep, and you're not in a place of fear. Your vibration is high enough, so you are it's going to match it, if you will. It's like a radio tuning in to the frequency, and yours is at a high vibration. So that's what you're going to connect with.
That's what we do. And that's probably why Lorilei and me say stuff like it doesn't affect us. And that's doing what we have to do. We have to stay in a higher vibration. I could probably Miss Jean Bassett will probably tell you the same thing. It's just always good to stay in the highest vibration for anything you do. But in a Ouija board scenario, see, I don't find the actual Ouija board bad at all. I really don't. I think it's a tool, like we're all saying, then you can do good things with it. But if you get a lot of people who are maybe inebriated, not in their right minds from maybe something
I think if they just come in with fear, and remember, everything's energy, right? And there is, just like the Bible, okay, we'll take that. There's a collective energy globally around that. Most people don't think of the Bible as an evil tool, right? They think of it as a good thing. People may manipulate it. We're not getting into a talk about the Bible, but my point is the Ouija board collectively around the world does tend to have a negative connotation and belief system around it. So you're already, you know what I mean? That collective energy is there. So if you go in there in a place even of fear, David is absolutely right. If you're inebriated, low frame of mind, but fear is a low vibrational.
Yeah, it's very low
emotion. You're going in there, you're afraid, or like this guy, he wanted to connect with all this spooky activity of things. Like there was already a collective energy there, tragedy in this area, right? And then you're using a board by yourself, first of all, if he was using it, and he's in a place of fear using it. So what do you think you're going to get?
Yeah, you're going to get what you ask for every time. Well,
my thoughts were, though, by the end of this video, we're going to show it. After I thought this got to be fake, and then I realized he streamed it live, so there's that element too. It's going to be a little hard to hide things, especially if unexpected things happen, even if they're planned, right? But what happens at the end, I thought, wonder if that was a message to him that, no, little boy, you should not be using this. See what you all think. Hi, Cool Cat. Welcome. See what you think.
What's up, Cool Cat? Yeah, it could be anything. I mean, it literally could.
Well, wait till you see the end and see what you think. Okay, because that's
All right.
exactly what I was picking up. Like, maybe that was a message. First of all, okay, so if he didn't fake it, let's just say if he didn't fake it being pulled away from him, maybe that was a message that you should really not be using this anymore.
Maybe
Now,
little boys shouldn't play with big boy toys.
or there's going to be other people saying it's evil. They wanted it to stay open so that, because what Nuke's Top 5 said about that too, I don't agree either, David, about it attaching to the person using it. No,
Well, I guess we should give him a fair thing though. He said in spiritual, but in paranormal realms, which, you know what, probably in the paranormal, not spiritual, but in the paranormal.
No, most people I know in the paranormal, the belief that I've met in the paranormal field, there is a belief that you could open a doorway or a portal that has not been closed.
Oh, Marissa Bell, I just want to answer this for you, Marissa, and then we're going to play the rest. It says, I've never used it, but have heard nothing but bad stories from others. I would have to build up the courage to try it. I'm going to tell you something. I get it, but here's the deal. You have heard nothing but bad stories.
Yeah.
Just what we're talking about. The negative connotation is already with you. Now, see, I've heard very good stories about it, and I've heard scary stories about it, and I've heard creepy stories about it, but I've never heard anybody disappear into oblivion, never to be seen again because they played the Ouija board.
But what I can say to you is, okay, I respect that you, and I think that's responsible, Marissa, what you've shared.
It is.
The way you feel. So you don't ever have to touch one. Why
Yeah,
do
you need to.
There's many other ways to communicate with spirit that you feel comfortable with in a positive space. To me, you're very intuitive. You shared that when your dad, I said a tug on your hair, you knew instantly it was your dad. So why go there if you don't need to? Right? Why go there?
Yeah. And you know what else you can do? And I'm going to tell you, I have not seen people do this in a long time. And you've probably done it before too, Lorilei. We were in a house, we've done it. And what happens? We knew there was something in this house and it was pacing or something. Mm-hmm. So we put baby powder all over the floor and got footsteps. Mm-hmm. So if you were outside and say you're at a graveyard, I mean, that's something you could, if it's dry, I could say you can literally put some baby powder. You don't need to go to a graveyard to have paranormal experiences. This always kills me that people think that there's extra activity. Do you think spirits, you've said it yourself, Dave, on this show, spirits aren't hanging around at the graveyard to scare the heck out of everybody. Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, we both said that, and I've said it a million times. I've talked to, I can't tell you how many thousands of spirits, and I've rarely had one that go, I was at the graveyard. Nobody visited me ever. Nobody said that because they're not there. They're there when you go there. Although I will say this. There's energy left behind. And here's what I knew. When I was younger, me and my best friend, Carrie, we used to drive through Genesee, Wisconsin, and right at this one point, there was a little graveyard with tiny little stones in it. And there was probably only about like 10, 15 people in this. And we got the courage one night, because this is what we did in Wisconsin, as we got out of the car in the middle of the night, and we went in there to go look at the headstones. Mm-hmm. Almost every, see, my friends didn't know at the time what I could do and what I was. And I remember walking in there going, oh my God, I was taken over by extreme sadness, and
but
you know why? They started reading the headstones. It was a graveyard all of children.
Yeah. But you gotta remember, if everything is energy, and I am of the belief.
Yeah, they left the
energy, and especially if something negative or sad has happened, there are spirits that don't cross over for various reasons.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
They are sad. The ground is going to hold that energy. If you think about it, that's why we get these notorious places. My brain just went blank. Howie's going to laugh at me because it's close to you, where one of the biggest battles went on Gettysburg. I knew it would come to me. Gettysburg. And I have seen video clips of almost residual, which means almost like on a loop of activity occurring. The ground still holds that energy. Where I live in Canada, in Thunder Bay, and I'm going to give it a shout out, and almost a month from now, we are having the Lake Superior Paracon. Carrie Lynn Shellhorn is coming up from our network here. Her show is Spirit Switchboard for people tuning in late on Friday, 6 p.m. I can't wait to meet her. She's one of the featured speakers. She's going to be talking about some of her experiences, I believe, in the paranormal. And I believe there's a few other people coming, and they have had some experiences in cemeteries. There's also a collective belief that you can get activity. But like Marissa said, I don't understand why the spirits would hang out at their graves. And I agree, but some may. Now, the one thing I do want to address, I'm not going to.
Wait, I was just wanting to quick finish that because this is really important. I came to the conclusion when I went there, so there was a lot of sadness there. And I had said that story before, and people said, oh, it's because of all the children. They're all sad. That had nothing to do with it. The energy I was picking up are the people who visited them.
Yeah.
That was the sadness I was picking up. People in there, they're fine. They've moved on and did whatever the heck they're doing. But it's the end. Yeah, the end is what I feel.
Mm-hmm. So, Cool Cat, you're welcome here, even if you don't believe in.
Yes, you're absolutely welcome.
And I just want to say we appreciate that you're not here to troll. I will let you know, I don't talk about it often, but yes, I am Christian. I do believe in God, and I respect everybody and what their beliefs are. And I know David does as well. So you're more than welcome here, and we appreciate you being here. Yep. So I wanted to add that. So as long as you're not here to troll, any belief system that you have is welcome.
Hangouts, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's watch.
By the way, you don't have to be Christian to believe in the paranormal or ghosts. That has nothing to do with being
Thank
Christian.
you. That's where I was trying to kind of go with that.
It has nothing to do with being, because I'm not Christian. I don't follow a Christian Bible, but I believe very much in the higher power in God. So I believe very much in
That's
that.
why I said I'm Christian. I believe in God.
She follows the Christian thing. So, but you know, you can. We love everybody. We don't give a crap what you believe.
And you don't have to have whatever we have worked with people that have no belief in anything to people that have other beliefs. It has really, if you even want to look at the whole thing, it doesn't have to have anything really to do with religion. If you believe in what you believe in and it works for you and you're a good person and you treat people well, hey, that's all we want here.
That's all we care. Yep.
Yep. Treat people well. Okay, let's watch the end of this spooky video.
Okay, end of spooky.
Okay.
After using the Ouija board. So Brian goes back again. He plans to jump the fence.
I was yelling at the TV
board.
or the
I'm jumping the fence, bro. I'm jumping the fence. Bro, Chris, look at the stream.
Oh my God, bro.
There's a big fire in there.
There's a fire.
There's a fire?
There's a fire.
Get out of there, run. Yo, get out of there. I'm not gonna get out of there.
Bro, what is burning though?
A fire can be seen burning on the road inside the cemetery. Even though his friends advise him to just leave, Brian once again feels that he should definitely try to retrieve that board to say goodbye.
Do not.
You didn't see it? No. Oh, you have to.
Okay, no. Last thing before I finish, there's just a little bit left. Please do not break into places where there is a gate and you know you're not welcome. If you were welcome, the door would be open. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's watch just the end of it.
Then I'll Ouija board. That's on you.
Whoa, shit. Look, show the fire. Is this the ball? It was literally a fire.
Bro, I'm jumping.
Yesterday you did your blessings, you did your prayers.
Bro, it's literally graves. No, it's not.
What does it find?
Bro, I see it.
Where'd the fire go?
It was the board.
It's the board.
It's the board and the planchette.
No, with the planchette.
Oh my God. Bro, I'm not touching it.
You just did.
Oh, the board is burnt. Oh my God. The board is burnt. Oh, sorry, I don't know the board. That was the board. That was the fucking board.
So do I just say goodbye?
Oh my God. Oh my God, bro.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye. Just say goodbye. Try again. Say goodbye.
I did.
Brian is finally able to say goodbye on the Ouija board, and he just gets out of there. But is it real? Or is it all just a very elaborate live stream hoax? I leave that up to you to decide.
So,
Live stream hoax. I got to go with it. It was entertaining, though. I loved it, but it wasn't until the end. That's where they lost me. And this is why. One, I do believe this. Weird things can happen like that. Okay.
I'm going to share something that I witnessed before.
I've seen boards go across that. I've seen stuff like that. That's all fine. The problem is, it was very entertaining for me. What got me, you could literally, and I don't know if anybody's a writer or anything besides me, but I don't know if you guys know what storyboarding is. Like if you're writing something out, that thing was so storyboarded. It was unbelievable. And they would have had me up until the end where they said, now they finally got to complete it. They did a storyboard of literally, it's like almost every horror movie.
I'm going to watch the full video. Now, I thought.
Yeah, but maybe the full video is different.
Okay, there's a lot of fake stuff. But the part about the burning, now I've not seen a board burn. But I know somebody. I have witnessed somebody levitating on camera. The stuff I saw, and I was there with my own eyes, not in front of them, but via Messenger or Skype. I've seen many things happen in their home. I have seen this person, they were extremely stressed. A loved one was dying. They weren't sleeping. And it got to the point, and I remember them they never told me about this mirror they had under their bed. I saw all kinds of crazy stuff while they were talking. This person actually took a picture behind me in my previous home that I have posted. This thing pops up behind me and you see it. It's gross and creepy. Anyways, they told me about this mirror. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen the show or the movie Constantine. At the beginning with the mirror, this big old antique mirror, they pulled it out from under the bed to show me. It looked like it had a hole punched in and all the, I'm getting goosebumps telling you, all the sides cracked out into the frame. Anyways, this is when all the weird stuff happened. And I knew this person well enough to know they weren't faking what was going on. It was the creepiest, weirdest thing. But I can tell you, this is another person, including this idiot, as Bobby Singer used to say on Supernatural, that even if it was a storyboard, you're teaching people that basically you knew nothing about, like, what should I do? Should I say goodbye? You had no idea what you were doing. You had no business messing with it. Whether it was a storyboard or not, I think you have responsibility to be showing people something truthful in the way of how you do things, or at least have a bit of knowledge. Second, this person used to play around with Ouija boards all the time. Now, again, you have heard us say Ouija boards are not necessarily negative. They have a collective belief around them, but you do need to know what you're doing. This person had it stored with the planchette in their closet, and they pulled it out while I was talking to them live out of the closet because I was giving them crap going, why are you playing around with this stuff? You're already having a bunch of crazy stuff going on in your house. They showed me the planchette was burned, pulling it out of the closet, not on fire, but burnt, scorched. Now, I know them well enough. They were not faking this. I knew them well enough. I'd known them for quite a few years. They were not faking this. So like
I said, there's a lot of stuff that I have seen strange and weird. I mean, I grew up in a house where our electricity, our sockets used to spark when I was a little kid. That's how there's something in the house, and there's nothing wrong with our wiring. And we had stuff unplug and plug back in. So I'm not saying that stuff doesn't. As far as what I saw, the might be different, but it's hard what I saw. It was very entertaining, and I had a good time.
Well, no, but I like Leslie's question. She says, so his intention may have been to entertain his audience, and it may very well have been. The reason I showed it, because there's such a controversy about Ouija boards. Never mind the fact this was live streamed. So if one of you does get to the live video before, when I'm going to watch the whole thing, I want to see, I'm going to be watching with beady little eyes, like for fishing line, for all kinds of stuff. Okay. Because to me, we got clips of it. I've never seen something that strange or extreme, but my point is, first of all, I don't think if you're going to tell a story, like at least let people know it's a story, or at the very least, like this guy didn't know what the heck he was doing, even in the storyline. But my final thing that I came up with was maybe, whether it was your story or not, it was a message to let you know little boys should not be playing with toys if they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. There's weird stuff that happens. It was an entertaining clip as for now, and it was fun to watch. But me and Lorilei agreed on a few things, like the whole one person on a Ouija board.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely is where I'm going. No, you shouldn't be doing.
yeah,
I
that
have
was
some
like,
better
no.
clips.
But that was fun. I enjoyed that one.
Okay, well, this one, remember we were talking about the sewer before live?
Oh, sewers creep me out every time.
I know. Okay, so thank God you guys can't hear that. Okay, wait, I got to go back a bit. This was weird. I don't know. Well, I guess at the time it was kind of creepy. Okay, this is in the hospital. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to jump to the beginning of this. We'll just put it up there.
Yeah,
I
am not a cave person or a sewer person. I won't go. And I don't know why, because there's 9 out of 10 times there's probably nothing in there that's going to get you. But I don't enjoy the feeling I get when I walk into them.
Well, this was a little bit impressive. Like, well, maybe they were using auto tune. I don't know, but you have a listen and see.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, I got to get past this a little
Las Vegas trade show. Suddenly, she and her business partner hear something downright creepy coming from somewhere just below their feet.
We're trying to deal with this. I have had not enough coffee to deal with this. Honestly, this is coming from the dream. Okay. That's some creepy words.
Just so you guys know, this is at 5:45 a.m. in the morning.
Where is that? Who is that? What is going on up here? Obnoxious as hell.
Mara and her business partner hear creepy sounds and what can only be described as singing coming from the sewer drain. The time of this recording is at 5:45 in the morning, so it makes no sense that anyone would be down in the sewer that early, much less singing. Now, Mara is in no way claiming that she captured anything otherworldly. In fact, none of her videos on her TikTok page have anything to do with the paranormal at all. Mara simply posted this one creepy, unexplained moment that she experienced. So, just what is this? And who or what is down in the sewer singing at 5:45 in the morning? For now, this eerie capture remains unexplained. We need scary videos, so if you see something scary that you...
Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
That's fun. That's fun. I like that
I didn't
one.
think it was super. It is kind of creepy though. Like
It's very creepy, but when you think about it, I mean, okay, I don't know. I hate to be master of the obvious, but even if, like, say that was Lorilei and I, and we heard that, I think the first thing we would probably do after we heard it and got settled would probably go, hey, let's call somebody from the city and let them hear this to see if they know what might be making that noise.
I know nobody in my city is going to be working at 5:45 in the morning.
No, I'm not saying that, but I mean, you could go to the city, the sewer company, and say, hey, we picked this up at 5:45 in the morning. You know what it could be? And they could be saying, oh, there's a sewage that goes out over by this creek and kids play there. Maybe that was it. Who knows? But I mean, but I enjoyed it thoroughly because...
You know what I would have done probably? Well, I wouldn't have done it if I was by myself and it was dark because I'm a big fraidy cat. I don't even like horror movies in that way. And like Leslie said, okay, hear a creepy sound. I will not go underground. I think everyone has seen it. Exactly.
You know what? I've never saw it ever. I've never saw it.
It's in the sewers. And then Marissa says, I think there's a scientific reason for that noise. There could be. Somebody labeled it a siren.
Or just a critical. The thing is, I always tell people, and the one thing that we don't teach people who are just getting into the paranormal, because you trust me, I've worked with a lot of paranormal people, especially the new ones. You have to know critical thinking, or everything that happens to you is going to be a scary ghost. So you have to have some sort of critical thinking.
Where I was going with this is, like, say you were with me and whatever. I probably
would freak out.
Down, are you using auto tune? And then we also called out, what's your name?
You know what? literally, I think in all honesty, and I agree with Lorilei, if it was me and Lorilei, we most likely would say something.
Yeah.
We would.
Yeah.
First we'd go, oh my gosh, what is that? And then after a while we'd be like, well, they're still doing it. So what's your name? You know, do you need help? Do you have any red balloons?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
so-
what I'm saying. Because
But
this
I
is
like
the
that.
thing that always kills me in the paranormal is people think, okay, it's always 3 a.m. somewhere in the world. Because you know how
Yeah,
you
it's
hear it's
always
always 5 o'clock somewhere. It's always 3 a.m. Now, again, there's the thought that the veil is thinner at 3 a.m. I have had things happen at 3 a.m., but I've had things happen in the daytime. And
Me
this is
too.
the problem. We have this false sense of security. And I don't mean in a way like, oh my God, something's going to get you. It's so scary. But we walk around our life. We're busy in the daytime. There is a lot of noise, a lot of activity. We're not looking for paranormal activity, but it does happen in the daytime. Nighttime, it's quiet. The house is settling. You can hear everything. We turn the lights off because it's dark, which adds an element, especially if you watch horror movies. You know what I mean? So that's why people really, I think, take notice.
Yeah, and I think what else too is why a lot of people, okay, as far as noises and go and all those stuff you in haunted houses and all that, that can happen, like Lorilei said, that can happen 24 hours a day. It really doesn't matter what time it is. I do think, though, to see an apparition, it's probably easier to conceive of it in the nighttime without the light. That's probably why a lot of people want to do that. But like we've said before, if I see an apparition like outside my brain, if I see an apparition, to me, it looks like when you look at the summer heat on tar, you'll see the ripples. I see that. I see that in the woods all the time. It's not scary, but that's how I perceive another energy. So
yeah, but that's where I'm going with this is activity. There's no time or space on the other side. So they're not sitting there with this paranormal clock going 3 a.m. where you live or I live or someone. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
and again,
there's no ghostly couple. One's reading the paper and one's making coffee. Says, honey, it's time to go to work. You know,
time to go scare the people like Beetlejuice, right? We got the new Beetlejuice coming out soon too. Can't wait.
Which I cannot wait to see.
I know. Well, you know, Dave, I've shown you, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I probably have. My latest passion is miniverse make-its. I have educated so many people while I've been on the hunt for them. And they're supposed to be made for children. They got recalled because they contain UV resin, which hardens with the sunlight even. And so now they're re-released, but they are re-releasing the Halloween edition. Hasn't come out yet. And it is from Beetlejuice. So you can make little tiny spooky cakes. And I think there's little bat juice things. They're so cute. Miniature is so big right now all over the place. But the big special thing, the selling point, it's a specialty box that, you know how you've seen those little Zen gardens? You can actually make, well, it's probably not too Zen, but it's cute. A little Zen themed garden with the sandworm from Beetlejuice. That's the special edition if you can find it. They even made, if this is marketed to kids, which I disagree with this one with, there's bar drinks in there. Like, and they've got little glasses to make martinis or Moscow mules or whatever. And now they started coming with molds. So that's super cool because you just don't get to open it to find out what you get. You get to reuse it. So kind of cool. So I can't wait. It hasn't come out yet, but where I told Dave I should have started watching this afternoon, Lord of the Rings. Oh my God.
I love it. Do me a favor. Talk for 2 seconds. This is not a bad emergency, but I got to give my parents a quick call.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll take care of it. You just go. So anyways, I was going to say, Lord of the Rings came out today and oh my gosh, I'm drawn. So Dave and Michelle Wilfong says, I love Beetlejuice. Don't you? I'm rewatching the first one because it's been years since I've seen it. Can't wait for the second one. I'm really glad that they got a lot of the main characters that were previously in the first Beetlejuice, which is kind of nice. And then the daughter, I guess, is the girl that plays Wednesday on the Wednesday Addams series. That's a good series too. So I'm waiting for that. But Lord of the Rings, it should be coming tomorrow. That's not even been fully released, and it's got all the special magical swords. All the little molds are coming, so I can't wait. They're supposed to arrive tomorrow. I had to order it from the States. But where I'm going with that too is Dave and I were talking about this, and some people don't believe in past lives. I'm going to address this. Julie Jean Bassett said, I love Beetlejuice. Can't wait for the sequel too. So with Lord of the Rings, and I've always found this, I've been very, very drawn to that time period. The times of King Arthur. I've always loved unicorns and fairies. I've also had a story that's been corroborated. I've told it quite a few times on the Angel Rock in here too, of apparently way back hundreds of years ago, I was part of the fairy realm, and two different people didn't know each other, both corroborated it. But I'm so drawn, and David was saying he was drawn to it as well. You okay, Dave? Everything's good?
Yeah, everything's fine. You know, it's funny. My mom, bless her heart, she's so sweet. I call her up. I'm like, is there an emergency? That she called like 6 times. And she's like, yeah, I didn't know if my phone was working. I have to set an alarm. I'm like, Mom.
I always forget that we have a show because I've had the same thing happen. People call me.
She forgets. I'm like, Mom, I'm working right now. Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. That's fine.
We have an agreement. We have an agreement, Dave, that either one of us, an emergency happens, we just carry on with the show.
We just carry on. Yep. But what Lorilei was saying about the realms and all that. Yeah, because I was like she said, like, when I was a little boy, I was drawing dragons before I knew what a dragon was.
Oh, I have dragon tattoos. One here I drew, and I've got one that's like a yin yang on my back.
Oh, that reminds me. Look, you guys, what I got. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Oh, right. Didn't you show it last week?
Yeah, I showed it to you last week. This is a dragon head.
I have a mold. I have still not found it, David. The same size, almost same shape, but that is a real crystal, you guys.
Yeah, this is a real crystal. This is all crystal. And a friend of mine where I work with, she's a gem dealer. I'm going to give her a plug on the. I don't know if she can get those, but she owns Whispering Stones Jewelry. Her store used to be called Solstice. I think she still has it open, but
I went to her store when you told me the name.
Stones?
Yeah, she's on Etsy, I think.
Yeah, she's got all kinds of stuff. I don't know what prices are, but I've gotten lots of stuff from her. She's got some beautiful stuff, and she knows a lot about all that. Let me see. I'm going to tell you that stone because it's really interesting. Why she gave it to me. I was talking to a friend of mine. It's a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to a friend of mine on Thursday, and for some reason, I felt compelled. I changed the background of our messenger to the dragons, and then then she texted me saying that she had a present for me. She needed my address again so she could send it to me. She said, I can tell you what it is. I just think that you're going to like it. And I said, okay. And then more dragon stuff came up. And then when I got it in the mail, I opened it up and there's a freaking dragon head. I'm like, oh my gosh. But she loves to talk to stones. And she knows that I don't connect with a lot of stones, but there's like chrysocolla, all the weird stones, that moldavite I connect with. And this one was called, really quickly.
It's hard to pronounce.
Yes, sphalerite. It's sphalerite with a rainbow aura finish. They bond metallic atoms to the surface at 500 degrees. It's great for grounding energies, and it helps you move forward on your path. It raises confidence and potential, and which is really funny because I used to delve a lot into dragons, and I still love them, but not as much.
You're finding videos and clips. Now, again, with deep fakes out there, but I'm not talking as of recent technology, say even 10 years back. It seems way over on the east side of the world in Asia and all of those countries over there. I have seen a few video clips and a few pictures.
Yeah, they've got, when I've got in North Carolina here, and Nicole will know, we got salamanders everywhere. I'm sure you guys do too. But every time I see them on my porch, I always go, hi, little dragon.
I used to have a pet fire-bellied salamander.
Ooh, fire-bellies are cool.
Well, I named him Pinute very quickly. But before I tell that story, Soy Joven is here, says hola. So we'll say hola. Yo hablos inglés on the show. Basically, that's what we're sorry about. You're welcome to stay. We love that. So because he said saludas, and Julie Jean Bassett's laughing, and Rhonda Harris says yes, here in Virginia too. I think they're all over. Anyways,
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
I used to live with my best friend before I first was married to my first husband, and we were going out of town, and so she was babysitting Panute. And her now husband was one of my closest friends too. So they were babysitting. So I think we were just gone. We go to the States a lot here where we live in Canada because we're only about 35, 40 minutes away from the Minnesota border. So you can run into half your city over in Duluth, Minnesota, and even in Minneapolis, Minnesota, because we're not that far away. So we get back, and my poor roommate is in tears. And I'm going, what's wrong? Panute died while you were away, and they made him a special little coffin, and she felt so bad. I said, honey, I know you well enough. I live with you. We have cats. And I said, you haven't got a mean bone in your body. I think it was probably just his time. And although I'm sad, I also used to get the little tiny, I used to have aquariums. I can't do the work anymore, but I used to have those little frogs.
Oh, I love the frogs. I had they're called little African something frogs.
Yeah.
Those, yeah.
But when you were saying about dragons, like I've always been drawn. Maybe that's why, like the Lord of the Rings, like, and the only thing is they got so many jump scares, and I hate jump scares. That's why I don't like horror movies. But they've got, the story is so involved with these rings. You finally find out. I found out, I think it's in the second episode of the second season of The Lord of the Rings, The Tale of Two Rings, I think it's called, why the whole series was called Lord of the Rings. You finally do. But it's got magic, and it's got elves and dwarves, and there's tree spirits, and there's just, you could go on and on and on. There's dragons, there's all this stuff, and there's wizards, and I don't know. I really feel like I almost am drawn back into my own timeline. I'm positive I was part of that before.
At some point, I mean, it all exists. It all exists at some point, somewhere.
Oh, so Leslie 1266 says, when I was looking back in my past lives, my first was as a fungi on a tree log. Is that weird? I'm going to say no, because as I mentioned, my close friend, Debbie A. Anderson, she's a medium. Her husband does past lives, Chris Lee. You can find him on Facebook and all over. His website, I believe from memory, is Past Life Rap, R as in Richard, A as in Apple, P as in Peter. And it stands for something to do with the type of hypnosis he does. But in the talk, he usually gets his people that are going to have a session with him. I believe he talks about some of the past lives that he has actually recorded with people talking about. And so has Dolores Cannon, who's done a lot of hypnosis when she was alive, a special type, and it still carries on through her daughter.
I've had that done, QHHT.
Yeah. So she talks about that too, that people that are in deep hypnosis have come through and talked about being there at the creation of the earth, being some fungi, some dust, some part of the winds, all kinds of stuff. So I don't think it's weird. You just said you didn't either, right, Dave?
I don't think it's weird. No, shoot, I've heard some weird stuff. So it's whatever. I always tell people, when you look at their past life, and if you look back at the past life and somebody tells you what it is, you resonate with it, and you can come up with your own truth about it, then by all means, go ahead. If it does something good for you, that's awesome.
Even my name, that's why I was laughing at the guy that was at it was the people that, like, I'm sorry, I can't even talk, under the ground with the singing, and somebody had labeled on the screen something about the siren, and I started laughing because I am named after, I think it is German mythology. I'm not German, but they're called the Lorelei's, and they were these apparently beautiful women that used to sing their songs. It's kind of a morbid name, to lure sailors to crash into the rocks to their death. Yeah. I couldn't sing a note to save my life. Probably people would crash if I sung. My brother can sing. I can't.
That's what they used to say mermaids used to do too.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny that somebody named it a siren that was presenting the video that was then sent into Newt's Top 5. So, but I really resonate. Like Julie Jean Bassett said she was a tree in a past life, and she said she loved the Lord of the Rings. So I wonder, I don't know, like, what do you guys resonate with? We got a few more minutes, so tell us, like, have you guys ever picked up something or seen something that you feel like you really resonate with, like it seems familiar or you're drawn to it?
Well,
Maybe
I told you guys that story when I had gotten out of the hospital, and I'll tell the real short version. When I had gotten out of the hospital after my NDEs, but less than a year later, I got urges to purchase things. I went out, for some reason, I got, do you know how you just have to buy something? Like it's almost a sickness. You have to buy this. I got Tibetan singing bowls, prayer flags. I just was spending all this.
You're telling me all about this. You
I
showed
never-
me your flags. I remember.
I didn't know what I was doing, but I was buying them. I didn't know anything about it. And then a friend of ours, she didn't know any about that stuff. And we were doing a Zoom call. She couldn't see anything. We had our cameras off for some reason. I can't remember what it was. But she's going on and she's like, are you, this is when the first time another person had told me before her, they said, you went through shaman sickness during your NDE. And I said, I didn't quite know what that was, but she said, when I was telling them parts of my NDE, they said, no, that's classic for the Western world where you were. And I said, okay, whatever. I didn't know what any of that was. And then this girl, the next woman who did it was a shaman. And I'm talking to her. She said the same thing. I was telling her about my NDE and she said, you went through shaman sickness. And I said, okay, what does that mean? She goes, well, that means that you're open. If you'd be a shaman, you're going through the sickness, you would be pegged as a shaman. But she said, if you don't have the calling, don't worry about it. But she said, she kept telling me, saying, you believe in side-by-side lives, whatever. And I said, yeah, I do. I know they exist for my NDE and everything. She goes, you're a shaman in Tibet right now. And I said, where? And she said, Tibet. I said, can I turn on my camera? She said, yes. I turned on my camera. I showed her my room was covered with stuff from Tibet, shaman, Tibetan things. That one freaked me out. So that was really cool. And another one too, I also all of a sudden needed to buy an instrument called a dulcimer. I don't know why I needed to buy a dulcimer, but I had to buy a dulcimer. It wasn't until after I got it, it was delivered to me and I took it in and my dad goes, what's that? And I said, it's a dulcimer. And I opened it up and my mom and him go, your Uncle Tommy used to make those for your Aunt Faye. I never knew that in my entire life. I maybe knew my Uncle Tommy for like a year. So this is stuff I was picking up. So we do pick up things like this and these past life things, like Lorilei was saying, if you have an affinity towards something, I can't guarantee it, but most likely it was something you're remembering from a past life.
Well, with mine, somebody I was mentoring working with in the Voldemort group, as we call it shall not be named. It was a younger gentleman. And one time we were talking on the phone and he had always claimed, and I had always been told that angels had never lived a human life. But he claimed he was an angel. I know he was working with some dark stuff. That's kind of why we don't quite connect anymore. Long story with that. But one night I was talking to him and he told me what his name is. I'm trying to remember what he had said it was. But anyways, he said, I know you. And I said, of course you know me. You're talking to me on the phone. Like we're on Messenger. What are you talking? And he goes, no. Back when I want to say it wasn't Abaddon because that's not a good name, but it was something similar to the Abadiel or I forget what it was. But he said, no. He goes, do you know, I think it's a Midsummer Night's Dream. I always want to say it's Macbeth, but it's not. I'm not a big Shakespeare fan. And he said that, do you know who Lady Titania is? And I said, no. And he goes, well, that explained it was from the Shakespearean Midsummer Night's Dream. He said, you were her sister. And he started to describe me. I think I've told this story before, so I won't make it too long. And he said, your name, I used to call you Maeve. And all of a sudden, without even thinking, I spoke up and said, no, my name was Maven. I know my name was Maven. That night, and I do draw. I hadn't drawn in a long time. I still probably, if I go through some of my files in my from up here, I sat down and drew this picture. And it was of a unicorn / Pegasus. And it came together in about 45 minutes, filled the whole page. And I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this beautiful, majestic creature was not my pet, was not my familiar. We were literally equals. I knew her name. Her name was Chloe. And then, long story short, trying to make it shorter here, when I had my attunement for my crystal Reiki, I was supposed to meet my crystal Reiki master for my attunement in a meditation, and I fell asleep. Never do. And she said, don't worry about it. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I still have the recording, and I would listen to it 5 days later. And she literally saw me 5 days later, describing what I was wearing and what I was sitting on, the whole bit, how my hair was. But when she got to one of our Reiki symbols, it's called the 7-pointed star. She goes, I don't know what it is about that 7-pointed star. Your higher self slapped that on your head. And she started describing the crown. And that was exactly what the person I had been working with that said they knew me had described it. She literally described what he had said, what I looked like, the whole bit. And afterwards she goes, I didn't even know this was in my office. And she sent me a picture, and it was one of the most beautiful fairies. She goes, instantly, I knew I had to send this picture to you. I'm not making this up. I have the proof to prove it. And like you, David, what happened with you? Yeah. So I don't know. And I bet there's people, when you think about it, have similar experiences. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, you never know. During my NDE, there's a part, well, this is NDE coma. Some was drug. I've always asked my guides, I'm like, what part was the drugs? And literally I'll be out loud and they'll say to me, that was induced. I'm like, oh, shoot, that was such a good story. But
you know what, David, though, I'm going to interject here quickly. And having worked in critical care, the things you were experiencing, maybe your brain might have perceived them a little bit, but it wasn't your physical body that was experiencing it. And I truly believe the things that you experienced did happen on some type of level. Not saying that everything you experienced.
Yeah, some of it did, but it was.
I was just going to add the stuff that people told you it was the drugs. I'm not so sure about that. That's where I was going with it. I think some of the stuff. I mean, I've asked my guys, was that the drugs or is that real? And it's like it was distorted. That's the word they used. Yeah, that's what I said. Your perception of it.
they said you have a distortion from the drugs and that, but there's one there's a building that I was in my NDE. It was so beautiful. And afterwards, there was a dream I kept having over and over. And I was standing in this field the grass was so green. It was beautiful. And I was standing next to this horse. And this horse we're talking, I'm 6 foot. This horse, it had to be every bit of like 15 feet high, at the shoulder. It was giant. It was a brownish color, and it had black hair, and it was brown, and it almost looked like a Clydesdale, but way bigger, like one of those huge workhorses. And then the distance looked like the outside of the building that I would have been in. Very almost Coliseum type looking, very beautiful. But I've always remembered stuff like that hit me. And I had a feeling that it's like, where do I know this?
We both love Victorian stuff. Like we have
Victorian
about Victorian stuff. So
oh yeah, we're both addicted to Victorians. I love Victorians.
Avalon,
which is really funny. Did you want to feel really weird? Did you know that the old Wild Wild West and the Victorian era was at the same time?
No, I did not.
Isn't that weird?
I did, but I guess now that you think of it, yeah, it very well could be. You guys, I say this every week. This is the fastest 2 hours of my week. I love doing the Angel Rock too. That goes by quick, but I don't know if it's because you and we know each other so well, and our little crew here that adds so much to the show. It just flies.
I think it's you guys who add so much to the show. Like she said, we'd be talking and having a wonderful conversation, but it's nice to hear what other people want to ask us about, because we don't always ask each other these questions.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to tell them where to find you? Before you do, though, stay tuned, you guys. Second night of the Outer Realm with the amazing Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano coming up right next after us. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Yes, if you would like to follow me on Instagram and or TikTok, it is Medium David at Medium David Hanzel. There are no numbers, slashes, or dots in that. It's at Medium David Hanzel. Anything else is an impersonator. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is The Spirit Experience, or I have my Facebook page, The Spirit Experience, and I have a Facebook. No, my Facebook page is They Whisper to Me. Sorry. My Facebook group is called the Spirit Experience. You can join that if you want. If you are a budding medium out there, I am going to be holding free mediumship circles via Zoom at some point. So if you want to join the group, that's great. To get a hold of me, the only way is through my website, theywhispertome.com. I never, ever PM people and solicit readings, neither does Lorilei. And I'll give it over to you to Lorilei.
Hi, Fleetwood Paranormal. I know we've got some lurkers out there, and we appreciate you hanging out with us. And you go, there were samurai warriors in Japan at the same time, too.
That's true. That's true. Well, isn't that weird? That's so weird.
Well, maybe we'll try and remember, and we'll start the discussion there. Otherwise, what we will do, you guys give us some ideas. What do you want to talk about for spooky season? Let us know in our group, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, for with Lorilei Potvin and David Hanzel on Facebook. We're getting up there. The group hasn't been around that long, but when we get to 200, David and I are going to go live in there and maybe do a few, from time to time, free one-question readings, or you want to chat about stuff. You guys can share your ideas. You guys can share your comments. You can share your pictures. They think you caught an EVP or an experience. People post funny things in there. You know what? It's a lighthearted type group to support one another, and we put it together because if people are watching on the replay, or you want to check something out yourself, maybe that we've reviewed like tonight, you'll be able to find it over in the group. So also, if you ever want to get a hold of me, I do readings, I do energy healing, I do teaching and mentoring. You can get a hold of me on facebook.com/Angel Rock right now. I am trying to get this course put together. October is coming quick. So hopefully you can get it in before Christmas. But when I do, I'm going to try and go under a domain name. It'll be easy to find everything in one place. But in the meantime, fastest place, The Angel Rock on Facebook. Also, you can get a hold of me on any social media platform. You think of it, it's there either under Lorilei Potvin or under The Angel Rock. I have two groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, Angel Rock or Tribe for all things spiritual. And I want to thank you all for being here. Fleetwood Paranormal said I just slipped in, and Marissa says this was an awesome show. Again, thanks. Everybody saying thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys stay tuned. The second night of the Outer Realm coming up next with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. They've got a great show. We thank you always for being here. I will see you on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Angel Rock. I should have checked who the guest is. I forgot, but we have a great guest coming up. I know we do. We always have awesome, fun people. That's how Dave, you guys met him. You guys loved him so much. I said, wait, let's start doing a show together, Dave. So that's what we did. So otherwise, Dave and I will be back same time, same space. Right, Dave? Stay spooky.
Stay eerie, say all kinds of things, and just have fun. Thanks you guys so much for joining us. And we're going to try to say it again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
What's at the foot of your I ruined it. I'm sorry. One of these days, Dave. One of these days.
What's at the foot of your freaking beds, you guys? What's at the foot of your bed?
We want to know. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.